Fine. So once again, very good day to everybody. This is Transport Warehouse Logistics (TWL), and in this class we discuss about the transport and mobility technologies. Okay, so whenever you say mobility technologies, it is with regards to the advanced technologies that we will carry over with the transport mechanisms. Okay, like autonomous systems. That's actually a mobility technology. Okay, so this is especially for you, my dear students and young researchers, and you can reach me at dr.christoananth@gmail.com. So before beginning the session, once again let me thank God for giving me this opportunity to deliver this useful session, to share my knowledge among my fellow national, international participants, students and young researchers. Fine. In this class, we discuss about transport as well as mobility technologies. We discuss actually the basic criteria, okay, for the interactions between the transport supply and then demand. Okay. Then we discuss about the e-commerce paradigm because the whole world is revolving, is shifting towards the e-commerce paradigm. Okay. And then we discuss about asset management paradigm. Okay. So that also we'll discuss. We'll discuss about global media systems, how you actually the problem, the disconnection of the global production and the distribution. So that problem we'll discuss. And nowadays, like transportation, we are having digitalization means. Okay, how you try to digitalize. Okay. Then what are the spheres of digitalization of transportation? What is C2B and B2B? Customer to business and business to business. Okay, so that we'll discuss. And then we discuss about digitalization of mobility. Okay, even mobility, of course, it is movable, we know. How you try to digitalize it with regards to the advanced support systems. And we consider digital mobility as a service. And finally, we are going to end with blockchains and value creation because blockchain is something where you can experience in each of the industries. Okay, it is not confined to software alone. It is not confined to computers alone. Okay, it is there in all supply and demand, warehouse, intermodal, freight transportation also. Okay. So I had already given assignment 3 for you. It is already there in the Google Classroom. Still, you will be having 2 more assignments, totally beach assignments. You have to complete them. You have to submit them in your Google Classroom. And if you submit them on time, definitely the marks will be awarded. If you don't submit it, of course, I'm not going to compel you. Okay. Right. So at regular intervals, I'll be giving you some short videos to discuss the knowledge in our topics. Right. Right. So with regards to transport and mobility technologies, definitely ICT should be playing a prominent role. Okay, information and communication technologies has resulted both economical results as well as social effects also. Okay, so which means that whatever domain of transportation we are trying to use, like road or maybe rail, okay, or maybe air or maybe ocean. Unfortunately, ocean is not here. Okay, with regards to all of the transportation, definitely it has information that has to be produced, that has to be disseminated, that has to be distributed to the public event. Okay. So for example, postal services, you know that it is physical means, which means that information mobility is same as that what you enjoy with the freight mobility. Okay. But whenever starting, if you can see, we had like telegraph. You remember telegraph? Telegraph was the original earlier mode of communication. Okay, from one end to another end. Okay, so that is actually a means to separate transportation and then telecommunication. But now everything is much easier. Okay, like courier service or maybe freight transportation or maybe sharing of files across the internet, that has become much more easier as well. Okay, and after the telegraph, then came telephone, radio, TV. Okay, so that we had like different transportation networks also. Okay, so you cannot say ICT only emerged only in late 2000s. Okay, it emerged like 1980s. Okay, where the telecommunication and transportation was not known to the public, and afterwards, as years went on, it became more integrated. Telecommunication and transportation became more integrated. Okay, so transportation, you can say it as a service which requires large amount of information. Okay, so like if you take in the case of vehicles or maybe infrastructure, that is what it is going to decide the transportation sector. Okay, so maybe if we are if the passengers are moving from one end to another end through the aeroplane or maybe through the road or maybe rail, okay, that is transportation. Similarly, if you are trying to move goods, you are going to have inbound, outbound logistics. Inbound, we have some processes. Outbound, we have some processes. That also it is transportation. Okay. So transportation is all about where you want to go from the source to the destination. What are the paths that you will take? What are the modes that you will take forward? Okay, and what are the alternate routes you will specify in order to reach the destination? Okay. So there has been interactions between the transport supply and demand also. So as I told you, I think you remember the previous class, demand-based services. Okay, demand-based services you can enjoy much more profit. Okay, same case, based on the demand, based on the demand that is being set by the audience, you try to send the services, and that will be the best one in comparison with the automated services. Okay. Right. So here, based on the information that is being sent across the transportation markets, we try to provide the best effort services. Okay. So the interactions between the transport supply and demand definitely will be more efficient. Your performance, your growth, your development will be much more efficient as well. And of course, there will be some cases or maybe situations where we will have over capacity, under capacity. It is not in proper shape. It is not in perfect competition and so on. Okay, because the world we are living is full of competition. Is full of technologies, and you have to beat them in order to rise up in the market. And for that, you should have a proper collaboration, proper understanding between the transport supply and then demand. Okay. So there should be better interaction. The distribution process should carry over. Okay. And with regards to ICT, it should be able to better support, modify, expand, and substitute the mobility of the the passengers and the freight or maybe the goods that you are going to transfer. So there are some paradigms, okay. There are some well layered, structured, okay, layout, okay, for carrying out this one. So the corporation would be focusing on the core competencies. They are the most important competencies. So core competence means in the business what you have, it is nothing but enjoying the benefit, enjoying the profit. Okay. So high profit tasks that you are going to have, okay, and outsourced activities are perceived of the low value. Okay, so whether you take in the case of product design or maybe retailing or maybe distributing, everything requires the manufactured parts and that has to be carried over. Okay, like maybe outsourcing or maybe offshore. Okay, so in the process, if you can observe, like we have like production, we have distribution, we have retailing of goods, and for everything there is some costs that are associated, and you have to cut down the cost in order to enjoy high profit. Okay, so here the supply chains will be carried over through the internet, through the information networks, through the collaboration networks, through the coordinated networks, and that is how it is being sent to the public. So this is what I'm going to discuss about e-commerce paradigm. So here the retailers are actually going to access the conventional paradigm, and they are going to make some changes, some updates, okay, to the layer structure. Okay, you cannot have the same structure for a period of 5 years. You cannot have the same structure for a period of 10 years. You should make some modifications. You should make some upgradations. Okay, and this is how you are going to update so as to better understand the suppliers and the consumers. And for this one, we will have a network like e-fulfillment centers or maybe distribution centers. We will have thousands of items which are manufactured, processed, distributed as well. So depending on the order, okay, we decide what are the types of service you can have. Maybe we will have postal service or maybe courier service or maybe physical means what type you can actually define upon. So this is what is taking place in the e-commerce paradigm. Okay. So we'll also discuss about asset management paradigm also. For example, we'll have like asset base, okay. Then we have a condition, okay. Then we try to analyze, we identify the statistics that is associated. Then we decide what to do. Then we select and prioritize. Okay, these are the lists that we are going to process and we are going to distribute it to the peers. Okay. So we'll have everything according like real estate or maybe vehicles also. So everything is being interconnected, everything is being linked. Okay, that has been transparent also to the higher end, to the administration, to the employees as well. Okay, so even if the management platform can be perceived as immaterial, definitely it will be having assets that you can utilize it for the future use. So these are the global media systems. We have started with newspapers that originated around 1630s. Then we had some periodicals, okay, focusing on topics even like politics, people, fashion, technology. We had several magazines. Then came news agencies during 1835. Okay, we have Reuters. Now we had. Have you heard about Thomson Reuters? No. You have heard about journals. Journals you have heard about journals. Whenever you say like they say Elsevier group of journals are very quality journals. So they have like one symbol called Thomson Reuters. Okay, it actually originated from this Reuters only. Reuters agency. Okay, so quality, quality of information dissemination. Okay, so that is Reuters. Okay, so Reuters, Bloomberg, Associated Press, Agents France Press. Okay, we had, and then 1910 we had movies. Okay, so the data for the masses pre-shows everything was there. 1920 we had radio, and after that came TV or maybe cable. Okay, during 1945 to 1980, we had several channels. We had different program networks. We had home box office (HBO). Okay, and it was cinema to home. Okay, movie to home. Everything was being enjoyed. And then came internet during 1990. Okay, then came cell phones or maybe smartphones during 1983 to 2001. And we are all living in this age. Okay, we had cam, we had recorder, we had GPS, we had location tracking, everything applications we are enjoying. And the next generation we had like artificial intelligence, we had machine learning, we had natural language processing. So that has come up. Okay, so these are the paradigms of the dematerialization of the economy. We had platform cooperation, we had e-commerce, and then we had asset management. Okay, so platform cooperation only on the core competencies, and it will be outsourcing the lower added values. Okay, and e-commerce it will be lessen the footprint of the retail stores. Okay, and you can develop a network, you can develop a coordinated means of the distribution centers. And then you'll have asset management. You're going to manage the existing assets, and you're going to develop a platform for the supply and demand. Okay, so you are going to define that base. Okay, a platform for carrying out these activities. Okay, so this is the core base. Like we have research and development, we had distribution, we had marketing and retail. That actually comes from the manufacturing base. So this is across each of the areas in the world. Fine. So whenever we say transportation, okay, yes, of course, everything has been carried over, but you have to do it very smart, and that is how you are going to digitalize the transportation. Okay. So, for example, whatever transaction that you are going to carry over in the economy, for example, if you want to transact money from one place to another place, here I see many of the local guys. Okay, they stand before the bank. Okay. So, what is the reason? They are not much into digital transactions. That is the reason they come to the bank, they do all the things and they go. Okay. But now we have applications. We have several applications for doing this one. This is also transportation. Transportation of money from one place to another place. Okay. So that has to be digitalized. Maybe in the form of individuals, institutions, organizations, or maybe corporations. It needs mobility. Okay. It should be mobile. It should be transformable. Okay. From one place to another. And for this one, we will have mobility which are in three forms. The first one is modal oriented. Okay. Direct ownership and the type of mode. Okay. What is the type of mode you are using? You are owning a fleet, like something which flies, or maybe like individuals owning a private vehicle, like private car, okay, private jet. You see celebrities, you see all those katabolas having own aeroplanes, own a spice jet or air jet they have. Okay, okay. But what happens in return? They are contributing to the global pollution. Okay, so that is the thing. So model oriented and ownership guarantees access to mobility at any point of time. You are free to go any place anytime you want. So it needs tracking, it needs navigation, and for this one you should have a setting, ownership setting. And then second one, it is operation oriented. Okay, so based on the operation, okay, so like direct lease, you are going to purchase it for some amount of time. Okay, the operation of modes. What are the modes that you can operate? What are the terminals that you can operate? Okay, by the corporations, by the institutions, and by the individuals also. Okay, so you can lease guarantees that is going to access to mobility. Okay, so digitalization is going to make these assets much more available across the market, even with the case of supply and demand. I still remember one example. Yeah, please. I still remember one example. In my country, there is one guy, very small guy. He used to transport milk. Okay, from one state to another state using a road vehicle. Okay, he found difficult. He found difficult. Okay, but his business was very good. Okay, the business is milk business. Suit. Okay, suit from one place to another place. Then afterwards, he started using rail. Okay, he found even more difficult also. He began to enjoy money, and after that, he had his own helicopter, which used to transport from one part of country to another part, extremely opposite. That like within 30 minutes, he can go from one place to another. But in reality, it will take maybe like a 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. So he is spending only 30 minutes. This is what you are going to have, clever transportation. Okay, so this is with regards to digitalization. Whatever you are going to have for, you should digitalize the procedure. Okay, so you can go with tracking and navigation also, where the goods are currently at. Okay, where the driver is currently at, what the activity is going on. You can track, you can navigate. Okay, okay. Right. And then demand oriented. Across the demand, whatever demand is put forward, you are going to provide the service. Okay. And for this, of course, mobility is very important. You are going to access the mobility based on the expected demand. So whatever mobility that you are going to access should be in real time. That is what people want. That is what the current generation are preferred at. Okay. So you have to access in real time based on the transportation assets. Okay. So maybe you can temporarily rent it for use, and for the purpose you can use, and then you can leave it. Okay. So this is for a purpose oriented service. So these are the spheres of digitalization of transportation. Okay, we have several spheres. Okay, like we have like personal, we have several ICT tools like consumer to business, business to business also we'll have. Okay, so these are the services, especially across the internet. We transfer information like maybe like email, messaging, or maybe video conferencing like Zoom, Google Meet, WebEx, Microsoft. We are interacting. Okay. So this is how the interactions are being conducted. Okay. Maybe if you take in the case of medium, you can use laptops, smartphones, tabs, you can use them. Okay. This is how you try to enrich in order to perform various tasks. And in order to find the locations, okay, so in order to find the locations, we are using like GPS, global positioning systems as well, in order to track, in order to find the intensity and the scheduling of mobility also. So everything, when you are trying to use the internet, so it leads to network congestion. Okay, which means that safety, secure protocols should be maintained in order to transport information from one end to another end, even if you try to use ICT, information communication technology tools. And that is the reason whenever you try to digitalize, okay, the spheres, you should have proper authenticity, proper security, safety, several layers of security, okay, before going into the public. Okay. So these are the the means. Okay, like you can use your smartphones. Everybody wants to have a smartphone where you can download the applications from the Play Store. You can actually track them. Okay, so for this one, you can have a smartphone which acts as a trip optimization device. Okay, so through this device, you can actually get access to all other applications. One application for all. Okay. So maybe it will be leading to less confusion, less errors also. Even changing traffic conditions also, accordingly it will show. Okay, during this time, more traffic it will take approximately this time in order to reach the destination. Okay, so you can go for, okay, and whenever you are going with a coordinated level, definitely it will increase your performance, your development by approximately 10 to 20%. So that is projected to increase. So this is how you enjoy the benefit of the spheres of the digitalization of transportation, right? So we are going to go with the C2B, C2B and then B2B also will have, okay, consumer to business, okay. Of course, ICT through the online booking systems had made the process much more easier as well, maybe like air transport or maybe rail transport, even with sharing services also, everything is made easy. So this is the thing we use like e-commerce where we have several commercial opportunities like maybe shopping, basic needs if you want to manage, if you have to distribute these goods from one place to another, you can go with the consumer to business. So this is a direct communication between the consumer to the business. Okay, either you can go for the third party or you can go with the direct mix. Okay, so one important thing is that you are going to remove the distance, you are going to have remove all the restrictions, temporary restrictions that is associated with a conventional retailing. And for this one, you should know, okay, when it will be open, when we can access the services, what are the types of opportunities that I'm going to get, what are the benefits that I'm going to enjoy. Okay, so these are the C2B, consumer to business. Okay, and then we'll have B2B also, like business to business. So across the businesses, we'll have collaboration, coordination in order to provide the best service for the customer. Okay, so the ICT will be enabling the businesses to transact more effectively. Definitely, indirectly, it will be helping the transport operations. So when you try to measure, okay, when you try to measure the sales, promotion, okay, intensity, then definitely your supply chain management strategies will be definitely improved, will be definitely upgraded, and will be enjoying the best effort services. So we'll also have inventory management strategies also, where we try to analyze, okay, even for example several companies, um, even like Amazon or maybe any top order companies that you will see, they will invite open innovation platform. I think I discussed this with you or not, I don't know. Open innovation platform is, for example, okay, they will have some layouts, they will have some structures or procedures. It is known to the public, it is transparent to the public, and you public, okay, can understand the procedure. You can actually propose a solution, and if you try to propose a solution, okay, they will be reviewing it, and if it is found to be very suitable for them, they will pay you a hefty sum. Okay, you can also work as a freelancer in order to participate in this one. And if you continuously propose more and more innovative solutions, then you can be part of their development strategy. Okay, so this is how you try to participate in the services. Okay, same thing happens with the passenger as well as freight transportation services also, where you can also use ICT platform to explicitly enjoy mobility as a service. So these were the different forms of the informational society. We are living in a information era. Okay. So we have like agricultural, which is nothing but hierarchy based on the structures. Okay. And then we transform to industrial. Okay. Which is mostly based on the democratic representation. They call it democratic representation. And we had like vertically oriented bureaucracies. Okay, the managements which were handling this one, and now we are in the third wave, okay, which is nothing but information wave. So everything is being coordinated, everything is being collaborated, everything is being networked. Okay, and we have multilateral consensus, okay, which means that we are taking different forms, different mediums, different ways in order to achieve this coordination. So this is how the mobility digitalization take place. Like we have like digital services like access devices, like entry and interaction with the information systems. Location tracking, we will go with geospatial systems, and then connectivity, like you have mobile internet, you have Wi-Fi, several ways to connect. Okay, and then open data exchanges. Here, the data is too much that we try to process only limited. Okay, so this data exchange, limited data exchange has been there across the elements, okay, of the information systems, and integrated payments. For example, one bank account but several applications. Okay, like Google Pay, this pay, that pay, X pay, Y pay, Z pay, everything you'll have, and you can go with the settling transactions in different ways. Okay, and then you'll have cloud services, like you will have like Google Drive, cloud systems. You'll have several one note, one drive. You'll have several services. Okay, where you can receive the information, store the information, manage. Okay, and you can retrieve it whenever that is required. That everything has some sizes, everything has some data weight as well. Okay, and finally the most important one, the blockchain. Okay, so here you are going to provide secure transactions and events in a ledger, okay, in a form of a system. So these are the diffusion of PC devices, personal computing devices. Like we had like TRS-80, okay, then Atari, Apple, Commodore, then came BlackBerry, iPhone, Symbian, okay, Macintosh, okay. So across the years, we were expressing like different applications, and this one everybody knows about it, Android, okay. Apart from that, we were having everything, like we had Microsoft, we had Google, which had came out, okay. It was called as the application war, okay. One try to develop one application, immediately for the competition another tries to develop, and everything had the similar functionality. So that is the thing. So the devices or users, everything has been transported across the application program interfaces, APIs. Okay, like we had the transportation service providers to the ICT service providers and into the digitalization of the mobility platform. Okay, so the device or maybe users are going to access these types of applications, and the corporations would be using them, and we had the public authorities, okay, to enjoy the services. So these are the core principles of blockchains. We will have blocks where we will have unique digital objects, okay, in a not in a centralized, a decentralized fashion, and then there is digital trust. Whenever you say digital trust, which means that it is having 2-layer or 3-layer security, okay, and there is encryption, there is decryption. For example, they say WhatsApp provides end-to-end encryption. Okay, even Telegram also exchanging the keys. Whenever you are making a call, exchanging the encryption keys. Okay, so this is how you go with the digital trust. Verifiability, immutability is there in the digital trust. And then smart contracts, everything you need not have to physically sign it. Everything is available online. You can have a digital signature, and this is what you will have, a smart contract. Okay, and then you'll have open source. As I told you, open source innovation. So that's a platform where you can access, you can include all the stuff, and you can also participate in the business. Okay, so this is blockchain in the distributed digital ledger. So this is the blockchains, and of course we'll have principles like information blocks, distribution standards, encryption, smart contracts, and to the functionality. Everything has been verified, everything is transparent to the public, everything you can actually participate, everything whatever you are trying to maintain is consistent with the process that you will carry out, and then you can share, it is visible, and of course you can trace the modes of application. And then to the processes, we have smart contract management as well. Okay, so coordination, collaboration, networking, okay, disintermediation, okay, dissemination of information, everything goes on. And finally, to measure the growth, we go for efficiency, effectiveness, how far it is resilient, IT resiliency, that we will be calculating. Okay, so these are what you will enjoy with the blockchains. Okay, and finally we are going to identify and develop mobility as a service, okay, across the centralized ledger. And for this one, we will have like extended as well as distributed form of ledgers as well. So here, whenever you are going for transactions, you should measure the efficiency, you should measure the growth, you should identify whether it can be enhanced, whether it can be developed. Okay, So you can share the common as well as distributed services as well. So here you are going to maintain the copies. You are going to transfer across several transportation infrastructures across the different modes of transportation like road or maybe railway or maybe air or maybe ocean transportation also. So that is how you try to enjoy the services with the integrated payment platform. Assignment 3 for you. Future of mobility. What will transportation be like in 2030? Okay, either you can think about this country or maybe on a global scenario you can carry over. Okay, but it's necessary that you should understand. Okay, you should project. Okay, you should be able to apply what you have studied.